evening and welcome to this edition of News Leader on 6. I'm Jim Fuller.
And I'm Jenny English. In tonight's news, a record number of Americans will be hitting the road over this Memorial Day weekend. We'll bring you video from last Friday's Tullahoma High School graduation ceremonies, and Tullahoma's Lanham Library is gearing up some summer activities for the kids. We'll have these stories and more on tonight's News Leader on 6.
Keith Barnett here at Russell Barnett Chevrolet GMC in Winchester. Select GMC Sierras up to $10,000 off original MSRP. That's Russell Barnett Chevrolet GMC on the bypass in Winchester, home of the lifetime powertrain warranty. And remember, my question is, why buy anywhere else?
Talking history about this and that. It's conversations with John and Pat, with John and Pat, with John and Pat.
Hello everyone, I'm John Rickman.
And this is Pat Welch, and we're here for an endorsement for the Conversations with John and Pat Marathon.
And I'm management. And management is proud to announce, after 100 segments plus one encore of the Conversations with John and Pat, we have decided to do a marathon on Memorial Day weekend starting at 4 o'clock Sunday the 27th and running through 6 o'clock on Monday the 28th. And guys, we wouldn't be able to do this without some generous folks out there in our community who have agreed to sponsor this. How about telling us who the sponsors are?
Weichert Realtors, Joe Orr and Associates, my friends.
Builder Supply Company, where I first started.
Stan McNabb, automobile dealerships out on the Manchester and the Shelbyville Highway.
Lester Green, McCord, and Toma Insurance.
And Smart Bank of Tullahoma on North Jackson Street, where I bank.
And Clayton Shoe Store with Miss Florence Hull.
Where everybody buys their shoes.
That's right. And you can get your foot measured.
Get your foot measured there, and I tell you what, folks, management is very, very excited to be able to do this. These guys have done a great job over the past couple of years sharing not just Tullahoma history, but history of our whole region around here, and it's important to all of us that we learn and understand and appreciate that. So, folks, don't you forget Memorial Day weekend on Sunday the 27th, starting at 4, going till Monday the 28th, ending at 6. It's Conversations with John and Pat Marathon.
Can we ask one question?
What's that?
Is it going to be back-to-back solid with just
solid
us and our fine sponsors?
Solid, baby, solid.
Wow.
Watch out, Andy Griffith. Here they come.
Welcome back. AAA is forecasting heavy traffic on the roadways this weekend as nearly 43 million Americans will start their summers on a high note with a Memorial Day weekend getaway. This long holiday weekend, marking the unofficial start of summer vacation season, will see the second highest travel volume on record since AAA began tracking holiday travel volumes back in the year 2000, trailing only the bar set in 2005. Overall, an additional 1.5 million more people will take to the nation's roads, rails, and runways compared with last year. That's a 3.6% increase. The vast majority of travelers, 37.6 million of them, will hit the road, the most on record for the holiday, and 3.5% more than last year. 3.25 million people will travel by plane. That's a 4.8% increase over last year, second only to 2005. People traveling by trains, buses, and cruise ships will increase by 3.8% to 1.9 million passengers. AAA predicts drivers will experience the greatest amount of congestion on Thursday, May 23rd and Friday, May 24th in the late afternoon as commuters leave work early and mix with holiday travelers.
Gas prices are as much as 6 cents cheaper in some states across the country on the weekend, which has pushed the national gas price average cheaper by a penny to $2.85 today. That average could have been even lower had a handful of Midwest states not seen price increases by more than a nickel due to ongoing refinery maintenance. AAA spokesperson Jeanette Castellano said, quote, gas prices are getting cheaper for the majority of motorists despite the fact that U.S. gasoline stocks sit at a 7 million barrel deficit year over year. Crude oil prices have remained relatively stable the past few months, helping gas prices be cheaper than last year at this same time. Today, motorists can find gas for $2.75 or less at nearly half of all gas stations in the country, end quote. Compared to last month, today's national average of $2.85 is cheaper by a penny and is 7 cents cheaper year over year. Some of the least expensive markets are Louisiana, South Carolina, Alabama, and Mississippi at $2.45, while Tennessee's average price is $2.54 per gallon. In Tullahoma, gas prices range between $2.36 and $2.39 per gallon.
The process of obtaining building permits in Tullahoma could be getting easier and more efficient. City Administrator Jennifer Moody explains.
So in planning and our building codes department, we have a number of service improvements that we'd like to make, and this is just the first. They currently use iWorks. It's a software application that allows them to do their building permits, and we're expanding that to have a public portal, so we'll be able to allow users to do their applications online from anywhere. They'll be able to track their permit online, make payments with credit cards. This is something they haven't been able to do. And also upload documents, so they're not having to bring in the same copies of insurance and things like that every time. So I really think it's going to make it more efficient and a more user-friendly process for them. And then along with this, we're looking at adding a kiosk into the lobby at Planning Codes, so they can, if they don't want to go home and use their own computer or have a tablet or something with them, they can come in our lobby and use our computer to do their applications.
Stay with us. There's more News Leader right after this.
Keith Barnett here at Russell Barnett Kia in Tullahoma. Only 2 remaining 2018 Kia Stingers up to $10,000 off original MSRP. That's Russell Barnett Kia in Tullahoma, home of the lifetime powertrain warranty. And remember, my question is, why buy anywhere else?
Cool off at Southern Middle Tennessee's newest water park, Tullahoma's Splash Island. Fun for all ages. 3 25-foot water slides, lazy river, fun water features for toddlers, tasty food items available. All this and more, only $5 from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. or 4 to 9 p.m. Sundays, 1 to 6. Join the fun at Tullahoma's Splash Island.
My wife Jackie has always been the life of the party, but things changed when she couldn't be as active anymore.
They told me I needed a double knee replacement.
It's not as big a deal as it used to be, but she still needed to go to rehab.
I was amazed at how good the therapists were at Life Care. They took really good care of me.
They took excellent care of her, and now she's back doing the things she loves, and that makes everyone happy.
Life Care Center of Tullahoma wants you to get active and live well.
Welcome back. Graduation ceremonies for the Tullahoma High School class of 2019 were held last Friday night at Wilkins Stadium. In this video clip, class salutatorian Natalie Tadaro speaks to her classmates.
On behalf of the class of 2019, let me also take a moment to thank everyone for being here tonight. My name is Natalie Tadaro. I'm the salutatorian, also known as the one who didn't try quite hard enough. As you can probably tell from hearing me talk for the last 10 seconds, I'm not from around here. Through the Air Force, I've had the privilege of living in many different places. With those places came opportunities to meet tens of thousands of amazing people, many of whom probably don't remember me today, or at the very least, have no clue of the impact they've had on me. 2006, kindergarten, San Antonio, Texas. I'm giving a book report, and my teacher, Mrs. Speakman, cuts me off after 10 minutes of straight talking. But not before telling me that your confidence in front of groups is wonderful. 2010, 4th grade, Washington, D.C. Like any other Saturday, my dad takes me flying. Only this time, he begins explaining to me how the plane works as if I'm an adult. You can understand this stuff, he says. You're capable. 2013, 7th grade, Edwards, California. Despite giving every ounce of effort I have, I am getting crossed up, bodied up, and shown up in our middle school basketball championship. My coach, Chad Robinson, chews me out, but adds, "The effort is great. Keep giving 100%. 2015, 9th grade, Tullahoma, Tennessee. I'm sitting in the THS gym, watching the volleyball team practice. I missed tryouts and have been given a week to prove that I should make the team. The assistant coach, Beth Kinzer, assures me, "You'll pick it up, I promise. Stick with it." And that changed my experience at Tullahoma High School. Without knowing it, these people impacted my life through teaching, through caring, through kindness. I promise, if Mrs. Speakman hadn't praised my confidence before cutting me off, my knees would be buckling right now. I'm sure every one of you can think of similar moments in your lives, along with the people who unknowingly changed them. I regret never thanking most of the individuals who changed my life, and I encourage all of you to thank those who have changed yours if you have the chance. But here's where the other shoe drops. Have you ever considered that you may very well be that person who is impacting someone's life? It's a simple thought, but I believe that is one we seldom consider. Any one of us at any moment could change someone's life forever. And I know what you're thinking. You're young. You're not even technically a high school graduate yet. You can't possibly change a life. But you can. Not by becoming rich or famous or successful, but by living honestly, by sharing generously, and by caring selflessly. It takes a great deal of hard work and more than a little bit of luck to change history. One of you might very well discover the next remarkable medical breakthrough or create the next mind-blowing piece of technology. Regardless of whether or not you go on to change history, I have complete faith that all of you will change the world. Because there is no one world, only 7 billion different understandings of it. And if you change one person's day, one person's year, one person's life, then you've changed the world. I'm not saying you to go out and seek opportunities to change lives. Those come naturally. All I'm saying is that we control very few aspects of our own lives. But what we can control is the way that we interact with others. And that's what really counts. Nelson Mandela said it best. What counts in life is not the mere fact that we have lived. It is what difference we have made to the lives of others that will determine the significance of the life we lead. Class of 2019, thank you all for completely changing my world. I know, without a doubt, that each and every single one of you will continue to change worlds in the future. And Mom, Dad, thank you for letting me stay in this place to finish out high school.
We'll have more from those graduation ceremonies when we return.
It's not invoice. It's not MSRP. It's not Christmas Day, although it may feel like it. It's the lowest prices in Middle Tennessee, period. It's a Stan McNabb Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram or Stan McNabb Chevrolet Buick GMC Cadillac before these prices are gone forever.
All right, the cat's out of the bag at Carroll Street Liquor in Tullahoma. Now you know where to go if you're planning a get-together and want the ideal wine or spirit. Party planning can be stressful, but at Carroll Street Liquor you'll find everything you need. Mixers, gift sets, and all of your favorite spirit brands. So if you're feeling the pressure to pull off the ideal party, come to Carroll Street Liquor and select among the seemingly endless supply of wines, spirits, gift sets, and more. Your perfect party, it's in the bag with Carroll Street Liquors.
Here at Manchester Funeral Home, we know the importance of living and working in our local community because it's those families who we serve during their time of need honorably. We believe in supporting local business and offer only 100% Batesville caskets, the best in the industry and a driver of our local economy. If you want straightforward and fair pricing while working with the people you know, choose Manchester Funeral Home, serving your community since 1932. And pre-planning and pre-funding can be the best gift you ever leave your loved ones. Call us to pre-arrange. Manchester Funeral Home. Our family, caring for your family since 1932.
Welcome back. Lillian Charbonneau is the 2019 THS class valedictorian. Let's listen to her remarks at last Friday's graduation.
Families, friends, faculty, and the class of 2019. Thank you all for being here tonight. My name is Lillian Charbonneau, and I am the valedictorian of the class of 2019. It was roughly a year ago when I started my first job at the local movie theater. When I first started, I strived to do everything perfectly to a T and be as happy as I could to everyone that walked through the door. This worked pretty well for my first few months of my start there, until one day I received an R-rated and long lecture from a woman regarding the price of her popcorn. I went home that night so upset, thinking that I had failed by not satisfying every customer that came through my line, not even thinking about the hundreds of other great people and happy faces that came through my line that night. What I quickly learned through that experience and through my first job is that we all encounter many people along the way who will attempt to tear us down and break our spirit in some way. As minute as it seems, I discovered this by getting multiple comments and scoffs at the price of concessions. What I couldn't realize that night is that it's truly up to us to decide how we allow others to make us feel, and whether or not we allow them to shape us into a person we are not. As Steve Jobs once stated, your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life. Don't let the noise of others' opinion drown out your own inner voice. Through school and work and outside experiences, I have learned that harvesting and nurturing my inner voice is how I have most successfully and successfully grown as a person. And most important, having the courage to follow your heart and intuition has guided me the most. Somehow, I've learned that they already know what you truly want to become. Create your own definition of success. And don't let the thinking of others determine your own path or even your own way of thinking. So, for the many of us still trying to figure out what to do, myself included, just give it time and you'll find your dream. Or maybe eventually it'll find you. And when you find that dream, you got to get after it. You got to protect it and dare to be idealistic. And drown out the outside voices trying to put in an opinion on your individual dream. There is always a need for more idealistic thinkers in the world as we conquer new challenges. In life, we also need to remember that what we are about is being in the moment and making the moments count. And we make the moments count by enjoying one another's company, by sharing our stories, laughs, goals, aspirations, and memories with one another. In the end, life is about the big and the small things. The A's on the test, the car ride conversations with parents that turn into lectures, the football games in the student section on Friday nights, the highs we say to our friends in the hallway, the college acceptances and rejections, and the songs we sing with our friends driving down back roads. They're all important, no matter how small they seem. In fact, I'd go as far as to say that what we view as the smaller things are the more important things. Not to say that the bigger things like the classes, quizzes, tests we stress over, and essays we wait until the last minute to write haven't served their purpose. They definitely have, and we've absorbed an immense amount of knowledge during our 4 years here. But never forget to live in the moment and appreciate the smaller things in life just as much as the bigger things. The world is now our hallway. Various office buildings, hospitals, campuses, and battlefields will now be our classrooms. As we move into these new classrooms, my hope is that when we meet on later down the road of life, we'll have amazing stories to share with one another. My hope is that we live with no regrets, appreciating the success as well as the failures that come with that. My hope is that we, the members of the Tullahoma class of 2019, become people not defined by others' definition of success and expectations, but rather our very own.
We'll be right back in a moment with more news leader on 6.
Keith Barnett here at Russell Barnett Ford of Winchester. Check out the 2018 Ford F-150 as low as $34,739. That's Russell Barnett Ford on 41A in Winchester, home of the lifetime powertrain warranty. And remember, my question is, why buy anywhere else?
When your family suffers the loss of a loved one, the caring and compassionate staff at Tullahoma Funeral Home and Coffee County Funeral Chapel are standing by to assist you in every way possible. We are proud to support local industry and offer only Batesville caskets. Many funeral homes don't own or operate a crematory. We utilize the only crematory in Coffee County. Your loved one never leaves Coffee County. We can accommodate any need and any budget. Consider our complete pre-need service to remove this burden from your family during their time of grief. Lock in today's low costs and protect from inflation. Tullahoma Funeral Home and Coffee County Funeral Chapel. Our family caring for your family.
Welcome back. If you're looking for something to keep your children busy this summer, Lanham Memorial Library in Tullahoma has several events going on that you might find appealing. Jim spoke with the library's youth director.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're here today at the Lanham Library in Tullahoma, and I'm speaking with Leslie Warren, who is the head of the Youth Services Program here at Lanham Library. School's out now, but I think you guys got something going on for the kids, do you not?
Oh, wow, we've got a lot going on. Our summer reading kickoff happened last night, and so we will continue that. It will pick up with full force next week. We had our ribbon cutting for our Rock Creek Storybook Trail that's behind us. There's an incentive program at that. The instructions are at the beginning of the walk, and we're standing in our new outdoor classroom that Eagle Scout Ian Russell built for us. So we've got a lot going on and a lot of programs. The whole month of June is filled up with a lot of programming. On Mondays, 6 o'clock in the afternoons, we'll have Martian Mondays, and I hear there's going to be slime making, and slime's really big with the kids right now. I got a standing ovation for that at one of the schools. Tuesdays is Terrestrial Tuesdays at 10 o'clock. We have a NASA ambassador coming and speaking with us. We have the Music City Missile Club coming down from Nashville, and they're going to talk about model rocketry and do a demonstration launch. We also have the UT Space Institute. We're going to be launching a weather balloon. On Wednesdays are our big performer days. They're at 1:30. We have magicians and the science guys are coming down, and we've got the Hampstead Theater. The Hands-On Science Center is also coming and do a special presentation for us. Thursdays is our Under 3 Club. It continues during the summer because we want all readers of all ages to join us. And even if they're listening, that counts as for prizes during summer reading because it's really important for that early literacy. So Under 3 Club is at 10:30 on Thursdays. We also have our Lego challenges on Thursdays at 3:30. Those are for all ages, and we have the Legos for that, so you don't have to worry about that. We also have Duplos, that way little brothers and sisters can come too. Then on Fridays, we continue with our family story time. That's at 10 o'clock on Fridays. That enough?
Oh, it sounds like you guys are going to be busy, and I think you folks that are actually putting this together are going to be busy as well. The terrestrial part of the program you mentioned, do I understand that's something that's happening really nationwide or across a lot of libraries?
Well, our theme this year is Universal Stories, and that is a nationwide program through the summer reading program of libraries. And so we have been able to work with NASA at my library this past spring. I did a 2-day training with them myself, and they were able to give me a lot of information, a lot of good workshops and stuff to bring back to the kids of Tullahoma and Coffee County.
That's going to be really interesting, I bet, for the kids. This classroom that you were talking about that the Eagle Scout built for you guys, you're actually going to be using this to teach classes out here.
Yes, it's actually perfect for our story time. So we're hoping to actually test it out first thing Friday morning. We're going to have our story time, and we're going to walk the book walk. And we look forward to having classrooms and presentations out here, especially if they're nature and wildlife based.
Okay. Now, if the kids want to be a part of this, what do they got to do to get into the program?
They'll come here to Lanham Library, and we'll sign them up for the program. It's free for anybody. You don't have to have a library card if you want to come to any of the programs. Now, to get the big prizes, you have to read, though. So you're going to read 10 books or 10 chapters, and for every one, you get a ticket for a prize. You'll sign up at the library. We're also doing the Teen Summer Reading Program this summer at the same time this June. We're also doing lunch at the library, so we have various times that the lunch truck will be here. A lot going on.
Okay. All right. Sounds like you guys are going to be busy, as I said. Thank you so much for your time, and good luck. I think you're going to be busy. Stay with us. Your weather forecast is coming up next.
Mustang Sally. You better slow that Mustang down at Russell Barnett Ford in Tullahoma on Highway 55, where you can receive up to $4,000 off original MSRP. That's Russell Barnett Ford in Tullahoma. And remember, my question is, why buy anywhere else?
We're losing it, Doctor.
Not on my shift. Quickly, brush. Roller.
What a transformation. It's gonna be okay.
Okay, nothing.
At Paintworks of Tullahoma, we specialize in domestic emergencies with Martin Senior Paints. You can be the paint doctor too when you treat your home with Martin Senior interior and exterior finishes.
Doctor, we've got another one.
Got you covered.
Paintworks of Tullahoma. Come see the paint doctor, Stat.
You made the time and the sacrifice to broaden their horizons, to see their smiles, but mostly to make lifelong memories. We think it's time to do it again, just the two of you. Don't let illness or injury slow you down. The rehab team at Life Care Center of Tullahoma is ready to help you live well.
Welcome back. We'll take a look at your weather forecast at this time, starting with your weather history on this day. Our record high was in 1941 at 91 degrees. The record low was in 2002 at 36 degrees. Average high on this day is 81 and the average low is 57. Partly cloudy weather expected tonight with a low of 63. Partly cloudy weather continues in the forecast on Friday with a high of 89 and a low of 66. Mostly sunny weather in the forecast for Saturday with a high of 90 and a low of 65. And that's our News Leader report for this evening. We invite you to join us each Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday at 6, 8, and 10 for News Leader on 6. You have a good evening.
Good night.